Right guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman Studio. Today we've got Josh in the chair. How are you doing, man?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm very well, mate, I'm very well. So, what's the plan today? What are we doing?
So I've been growing out for almost sort of 4 years now.
Okay.
And I want to take most of it off. I plan on donating it.
Right, okay.
So I want to go sort of short to mid-length, like a pushback, wavy kind of look. I know it's not too specific, so I brought...
Show us some if you don't mind, man. Yeah, that'd be good.
I think he's made an appearance on the channel before. It was Shawn Mendes.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
So something like that.
Okay.
I think I prefer this one the most. There's a little bit more roundness to the sides.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just find that when you are donating, and I love the fact that you want to donate it. We'll still donate it, but just for future reference, so for anyone watching, if you're going to donate it, try and get your hair cut off to like a sort of buzz cut or clippers or something very short. Don't try and go to like medium lengths and short lengths because it's hard for us to kind of cut it all off, but then still try and keep length in it, you know? So I'd probably suggest if you're going to donate it, do quite an extreme haircut so you can donate more of it. You get what I mean? If that's all right. But have you got your bobbles with you and stuff?
I brought a little envelope and some bobbles and stuff.
Have you got? Okay, cool. Well, let's get them out then, mate. And we'll do that first. But let's say, are you looking to go for that kind of look that he's got? It's quite square, still pushed back, quite shorter length. Yeah.
Because my intention is because I was always growing it out until I got bored of it. And that's where I'm at now. Okay. So I think I'll probably grow it out again until I'm bored of it, and then.
That's cool, mate. Whatever works for you, mate. Yeah, of course. Nice haircut though to go for. At least you found something within your hair texture and stuff as well. So cool. All right, man. We'll do something as close to that then as possible. Cool. Yeah, sweet. Do you want to grab your stuff and we'll get it cut off? Amazing thing to do. I do the same thing myself. I think if I got to the length that I want to get to, and I was getting kind of, I was going to take it short, I'd probably shave it off. You know what I mean? And do it that way. That is what I would do.
What is the length that you want to get to?
I don't know, but I'm probably just going to go with a similar thing to yourself, mate, and just see how long I can go for before I get bored. I think I want to do it just to say I've done it, work out what it took for me to get to there. That's kind of where I'm kind of at in terms of like my ideas. How do I get to like a longer length, for example? Yeah. That's all I want to do really. Just get to a good amount of length, and then see where we go from there. So you ready? Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Cool. Do you want to use this as a thumbnail, Liam? Right, there we go. So first bit off. Ready? There we go. Now the reason I've had to do that is because I need to keep this length here to work from. So I still need to keep length at the bottom for the Shawn Mendes style. Same bit here. There we go. There we go. One more. And last but not least, the last one here. There we go. Right, let me bag it up for you now.
Pretty mad, that,
4 years, mate. Bang on trend in certain parts of the world, that, mate.
Whereabouts?
I know. I'm sure you're not the only person rocking this look right now, I can assure you. Right, let's get this washed and then we'll cut it into that shape for you, all right? Sure you don't want to keep this style?
It looks alright with the...
when it's brushed out, it doesn't. I feel like it looks like a photo from like the 80s or 70s or like a high school picture of someone's mum, you know? Which isn't probably the best look that we're trying to go for, you know? Right, okay, so let's cut it into that Shawn Mendes kind of style, okay? And something like this is deceivingly longer than you think it is, because I think them haircuts look quite short, but they're not. It's because the wave and the way it's been styled, it's kind of been sort of scrunched into itself almost, you know, so it's actually a little bit longer than you think. Hence why I couldn't take it as much off as I'd like to donate, you know. Right, there we go. That's all sectioned off now. So I'm going to do, I want to try and create a nice sort of wave and flow to your hair, okay? So I want you to be able to brush it back, but I want it to fall really nicely as well. So continue with the same width sections all the way through to the back as well. This is allowing me to create that shorter shape around the edges that Shawn seems to rock, especially in the pictures anyway. Keeping that straight, pulled straight out. I'm not angling it, I'm not tapering the bottom. I'm bringing it straight out. I want to work on the neckline and everything after we've cut it.
Yeah, my neckline's got a bit mad on it with the no haircut for years.
Not really, mate, no, not really.
I don't know, I always see it like from the front of the mirror and I feel like it's creeping around all the time.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, do you know what? It's not too bad, to be fair. You don't seem like you've got a really hairy neck anyway, so I think it's not too bad, to be honest with you, mate. It'll still be trimmed. The edges will be like the perimeter will be trimmed, so that's good. But I don't know if I'll be doing anything to the neck hair. I'll have a little think at the end to see if it works or not. Sometimes you can take away the neck hair and it becomes really sparse, which I don't want to do, you know. How does it feel to hear the scissors cutting all the hair off?
I always really used to, having my hair cut. I always found it quite therapeutic.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, I've definitely missed it.
Did you find that the hardest bit about growing was like not being in the chair and getting a haircut? Did you find that quite hard to get? Because
a lot of the lads that I went to school with, they're barbers.
Oh, right, really?
So I'd always, obviously get my haircut with them.
Oh, wow.
So I haven't actually seen them in a long time.
Yeah, of course, yeah. What was your haircut like before you decided to grow it?
I've had a lot of haircuts, to be fair, but sort of during the lockdown sort of times, I always had, I was just buzzing it myself, just complete skin.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a skin.
Like, it's weird because I'd start off just doing like a 2 or whatever, and then I'd be like, it's not enough, and I'd do the 0.
That's so common. That was we've had a guy in on one of our latest videos where he wanted the perfect buzz cut and he did exactly the same. He started off at like a 2 and then was like, oh, it's too long now, and then ended up going down to a 0 as well. Yeah.
But then just sort of like typical sort of skin fade, a little bit of length on top. Yeah. Side parts and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And then it was actually the last lockdown was the last time I had a haircut. Any sort of length off.
So did you grow this out from a buzz cut, was it, or?
No, it was a skin fade on the back and sides and maybe a couple of inches on top.
Oh, okay.
And during that time, I think I've had 1 trim.
Have you?
Just to sort of balance it out.
Wow.
Well, I asked him to balance it out. I think he just took the ends off everywhere and that was it.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Sometimes that's enough though,
Yeah.
There we go. Nice, lengthwise. Right, so I'm going to cut in the perimeter now. I'm just going to see how that all falls in. Because we still want to keep a bit of length in there, but not too much. Yeah, I might tidy your neck hair up actually, but you've got like a cow's lick at the bottom, which is going to kick out.
Yeah, you've seen it creeping round.
Yeah. So I'm going to tidy that up a little bit for you actually.
Do you think this sort of cut is going to grow out well then if I was to leave it for a few months or?
Oh yeah, totally, yeah. Any haircut that's done well will grow out nicely.
Yeah.
Except for undercuts. Only because they don't grow out that well anyway, but we're going to have a disconnection here, but because of the length you're at, it's not going to be noticeable.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you'll be totally fine, mate. Totally fine. I've done this is a very heavily requested haircut, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On the day-to-day for me. So I do a lot of I see a lot of Shawn Mendes, man. I feel like I know the guy just because I see a picture of him every pretty much every single day.
Yeah.
So Shawn, if you're watching, mate, just give us a little comment. But it's interesting because it's like it does grow out nicely. To be honest, this haircut does grow out well because of the shape. Because you're creating such a square shape, so it grows out in that same way. It looks great. This is probably one of my favourite haircuts. So I know I don't do it as often as I used to, but I still do it weekly though, without a doubt. But when we did our first ever Shawn Mendes video back in the old studio, that really, I was probably getting that daily at one point. It was a really popular look,
Yeah, well, I think that's part of the reason that I asked for that today, because I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Yeah, is that what? Okay, cool.
Yeah, well, that's why I said earlier that I think he's appeared a few times.
Yes, yeah. I thought you were going to show me a picture of Matthew, who was the model for it. You see.
Right.
So I'm just cutting into the perimeter. I want it to sit very natural and very shattered. Now I'm just going to remove that neck here. Through here. The sideburns are okay actually, I'm going to leave them. I'd say we don't really need it for the look we're going for. I'll just taper it first a little bit to see where it's going. And use the strongest point to keep in there. I'm going to razor this in now to create the shape. This really helps to bring out the curl we're trying to achieve. There we go. Right, let's cut the top in now. Then we're going to do the same kind of thing. Bring this all back. You see you've really looked after your hair. I mean, how easy it is to comb through. It doesn't tangle or anything like that, which is perfect. I'm going to cut this a little bit lower down than normal, just about here. So I want to maintain still a good amount of length, but I want to create the top heaviness that Shawn tends to have in the haircut as well. But I still want connection in there too. I want to start to angle this down a touch as well because I want to start to preserve a bit more length at the front again. Shawn's haircut seems to have that little bit more length to the front. So nothing major, not like a major difference, just a little bit more, a little bit of over direction to the front, just to maintain that length in there. You know, following the guide underneath. Just bring that round. Then we get to the sideburn, just above the sideburn. Cut that in. Then as we get to the front, I'll just angle that away a touch, like that. So we're just dropping that angle down ever so slightly, just to preserve that little bit more length. Like I said, I could probably recite nearly every single Shawn Mendes haircut, you know what I mean? So go with the most common one, because a lot of the time, when you see a celebrity's haircut, it's just usually styled by a session stylist differently. It's usually the same hairstyle. Like if you look like Timothy Chalamet, there's certain pictures of him where his hair looks completely different, but it's actually not. It's actually the same haircut. So obviously the haircut's probably done the same way. I think it's just whoever's styling it has just used a slightly different way to style it or products, you know? So you don't want to get away from the cut too much just because it's been styled slightly differently, you know?
Yeah.
So is there any moments throughout the sort of hair growth journey that you've kind of not enjoyed, or any bits that you kind of you wouldn't want to go through again? Yeah,
it was from where it's going to be today, until it sort of dropped. Oh, until it dropped,
It
grew out for a while. Like, I didn't really know how to take care of it at that time. So it was huge. You know, the volume was crazy.
Yeah, of course.
But then when it got to about sort of shoulder length, or bottom of my neck sort of area, it was all right.
Was it? Oh, that's good.
But then again, like throughout that time, even though I didn't like it, people would always be saying, you know, it looks good, they like it, etc.
Yeah. Weird though, isn't it? Because like you start getting compliments and you're thinking, really? But I think especially because it isn't cut into a shape as well, it is hard to replicate a lot of the time. Try and create the kind of look that you want to go for as well, you know. But now you should find it okay because it's cut into the shape, you know. It's going to cut into a style, which is purposely done, you know. So hopefully you shouldn't find it too hard to do. Right through the top now. And you see everything staying nice and club cut, or blunt cut as we say. I'm going to use the razor instead for the texturizing of this, just to get that bit of volume, that bit of height and stuff like that, you know. Oh, last but not least, this little bit here. And just Put that fringe in a bit more now. Put that in to match the other side. There we go. Perfect. Take this bit through here as well, just so it falls a bit more into the sides like that. Now a little bit of razor work, just to add a little bit of texture to it, a bit of movement. I'll cut right into this, you can see a very, very wide section. I went right into this like that. Take away that thickness towards the back, and then as we see now, the sections get a bit thinner. Break up that thickness towards the crown too. Sporadic diagonal sections as well, just so you can wear it in a few different ways. Right, so styling now, all right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on some, I'm gonna dry in some curl gel, because I kind of want to, I still want to use the curls, right? Now this is a curling jelly, okay? I'm gonna use this alongside the diffuser, because I want to keep the curl in there, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a styling product to break away from the curl so it becomes more of a kind of wave and a bend and stuff. Okay. Curling jelly in there first. Work it through the hair, like so. Now this will almost like set the styling. So if you're looking at it now when it's wet, you can see the Shawn Mendes look, can't you? You can sort of, you can see the shapes in there, right? All I'm gonna do is bring that shape out with heat and using my fingers, okay? Now the best side your hair gets volume on, because we need volume in this hairstyle, is it wants to go naturally that way, but I think if we bring it from left to right, you'll get, see you get more volume that way.
It wants to go
you want to do that? Do you see what I mean? It wants to go that way, so you go against the way it wants to go. That will give you the natural volume, okay? Now, first of all, I'm going to dry the sides in, okay? And scrunch the sides like this, They're too short to lean into them, so I'm just going to use the diffuser to dry them, and I'm going to bring them back as I'm doing this. So I'm bringing my fingers through it and scrunching, okay? And that starts to bring it back, okay? Same through the back as well. I'm just scrunching it through like this. Into the back, I'm just scrunching, not directing it, just scrunching, because the back will sit naturally anyway, as we want it to. Now at the top, you can flip your hair forwards for me if you don't mind. So, alright mate, so I'm just going to bring this forward, and I'm going to dry it in like this. Just scrunch it through, just drying in that jelly, okay? Now if you flick it back for me, it's great. So we're going to finish with some foaming cream. And this is going to add the hold that we want and the shape. Okay, so only a tiny little bit, because I've already dried something in already. Bring it into the sides, into the back, and then into the top, okay? Now this is going to create the shape that we're looking for. Your hair needs that little bit of a wetter finish to it. Not like wet, but like a shine. And let me just spin you around. I'm just going to take this up a second. I'll put this back onto your top in a second, okay? So. I want you to see the finished look, okay? You hold that for me, right? Now what I want you to see is the finished look from the back, okay? So as you spin that around, there's how the back sits. Oh wow. Right? You see that? Yeah, so you've got that kind of natural finish, you've got the wave in it, you've got the curl, but it's the shape that I
like the weight of it as well, you know.
It looks nice, doesn't it? Yeah,
a bit of thickness in the back.
That's it, yeah, exactly. That's what I need, that's what I want to keep in. I want to kind of work with your natural thickness to it, you see, because again, Shawn's is looks very like unkept, you know what I mean? It looks like that. Yeah. And then there's the sides. Oh, that's
God, it looks a lot smarter, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? But as you can see, you've got all that shape and that texture and everything else falling in there. So it is, if you look at Shawn's from the side on, it's pretty much like yours. Yeah. Everything just falls in. It's one of those haircuts that like you can grow into it. Because you've got the length in there. But the main thing is the shape. It's that kind of square, boxy finish. Very similar to his. Oh, it's bang on. Yeah, definitely. Thanks, man. Yeah, really. Glad you waited this long to do it, mate. It's great. Yeah. Well, I came to Rockland, didn't I? So it's exactly. Always in safe hands, wasn't it? Yeah. Well, you know. Yeah. Thanks, man. All right, it was a real pleasure. Thanks, Josh. Cheers, pal.